Hi guys, welcome back to At Home with Holly. My name's Holly. I'm so glad that you're here with me today. I want to take you through how we built this turkey tractor from start to finish. We've got happy turkeys. And I want to show you guys how we got there. I'm so glad that you're here. So the first thing is I'm basing this plan off of Jason from Sow the Land's plan for his chicken tractor. And so my next door neighbors, Beth and Mark, they have an old playset type building that was built with all of this treated lumber. And so in the process of tearing it down, we're helping each other as we always do with these projects. And so they said, yay, if you help me tear it down, you can have all the wood. And I was like, awesome. So what we did was first we ripped down the pieces of wood to the size that were going to be light. So basically like 2 by 2. And then at that point, it was time to pick up my turkeys. So I wasn't really stressed about that because the turkeys were going to be living inside the house in their little brooder. You can see how cute they are, the little fluff balls. I ended up getting 8 turkeys, 3 of the black, 2 of the brown, and 3 of the white. So they lived inside this brooder for about 2 weeks, and then they moved into the brooder into my garage. But they were very happy, they were active, but I realized very quickly that they were going to outgrow the space. So what was going to be we'll work on it every once in a while thing with the turkey tractor definitely got sped up when I realized how quickly they were growing. And they're very sweet and they're very fun, but they definitely needed a bigger space. So after we had all those boards ripped down to basically 2 by 2s of treated wood, then we went ahead and planed them, and then we cut them to length. And this is where our first time for all of us using this planer, and it was definitely a little bit of an experience learning, where to put the thing and the depth and all that kind of stuff. But I think we did a pretty good job and it looks pretty great. So we planed all the pieces down and then we cut them all to size. What we did was decide to build the sides first, attach the hardware cloth, and then stand it up and join it together. So Jason's got these plans. I just adjusted the size, but Jason from Sow the Land has these on his website, so you can get them there. But we attached the hardware cloth with staples, and then we actually did use we hammered in as an extra layer of protection the poultry netting staples as well. But so we went ahead and attached the hardware cloth to all the 2 short sides, the 2 long sides, and the roof. We put it all together. Look at another cute little turkey moment. Kids are getting bigger. This was only after like a week. They got so big so fast. But anyway, we attached the hardware cloth to the sides, and then we did end up putting the roof and the side panels over half of it first. And then we ended up having to take that off because we decided to do additional bracing and add a door. Since it was so tall, we needed to be able to get in there because I couldn't exactly step over the sides of it. So you can see that in my brain, I was like, oh, the difference between 2 feet tall and 3 feet tall is not that big. Well, it is when you have to step over the side. So we actually did attach the side panels and then decide that we needed to take them off, add some additional bracing, which worked out because then we were able to give them like essentially roosts inside. And then we did make a door panel on the side. We added hinges to the top so that it can lift up and down. So you can go in through the top, you can go in through the side door, and it's got plenty of bracing. So this is Mark making the door for me. And at this point, the turkeys were in this pop-up tent with a kiddie pool in the bottom of it in the garage. And they were very curious as to everything that we were doing. Turkey's first afternoon outside. Look at them. Turkeys on grass. We love it. So I do have that pop-up tent that I use whenever I'm getting my baby chicks outside for the first time. So that did come in handy for them to have a temporary place for them to go. Now, I will say that throughout this process, it made it a lot easier that Beth and Mark had some tools that were definitely the right tools for the job. So they had a grinder, which was amazing because we were able to cut right through that hardware cloth and the planer. I'm just super grateful. And the star of the show was that while we were putting on these jacks, we were able to use the coolest tool, and that is this, I don't even know what it's called, this ratchet electric, I don't know what it's called, but I am super grateful that I learned how to use it. I love doing these projects because it's something for us to do, you know, my friends and I to do together, but also I'm getting to learn how to use these tools like the planer and this ratchet thing. And I don't know, it's just been really fun learning how to build this stuff. So anyway, we use that and we attach the trailer jacks to it to make sure that you could lift it up easily, and that it would not just roll but pivot. Since these wheels aren't stationary, they can turn side to side. So we went ahead and attached these on the both side. I think you could actually attach 4 of these if you wanted to make it roll even easier, but we just did the 2 on the back and then attached the toe strap on the front. Now I will say Mark did enjoy using his tools, I think, a little bit, and so he actually did, you know, use the grinder to make sure that all the bolts were shaved off and not going to be getting the turkeys. And then it was the day that we finally got to roll this beauty outside, so we rolled it out to the backyard and got it set up and ready to go. Some of the cool things about this tractor are that we do have wheels, 2 back wheels, and what we did was we added on the trailer jack wheels so they can pivot and they can be put up or down depending on if we want it to be stationary or if we want it to move. We did add a door. We do, of course, have the hardwire mesh all over the whole thing. And then we do have the roof panels. We went with the PVC roof panels because they're a little lighter, because this is a little taller and a little larger than the normal chicken tractor, just to make sure that we have enough room for our growing birds. So this is a look at our 8 turkeys that are 4 weeks old, and they have been hanging out in this turkey tractor during the daytime for a little bit, but tonight is going to be their first night in the tractor all night long. Low of 60 tonight. They've had a heat lamp or heating plate this whole time, but they haven't really been using it the last week. So now that the nighttime temperatures are, you know, in the 60s, here they are. Here's a little closer look at the jack system. So easier to do it with 2 hands than with 1, but here's a look at how you just pull out the pin, swivel it, it locks back into place, and then you can very easily spin it so that it goes up or down, and it'll lift the weight of the tractor without you actually having to lift it. And if you put the wheels down enough, they'll actually go below the edge of the tractor so that they can swivel both ways. And then you can, of course, lift it back up again with that ease and then pivot and lock it back up. I have had a chicken tractor before, and I had a thing where you step on the wheels to lift them. And with uneven ground, sometimes that can be a little bit not as easy. So I like having this way where it just with 1 hand is easy and simple to do. So here is what it looks like all done. We have our turkey tractor. We have our Premier One poultry netting around it, a solar charger, and 8 happy turkeys. So that's going to do it for me with the turkey tractor, you guys. I want to thank you guys so much for all the likes and the comments and the shares. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. We have a whole lot more turkeys and chickens and gardening and fun projects to do. And I can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye, my friend.